So before we get going, a quick little thing. I swear, this really will be quick this time. To everyone who is saying Sky Striker are now good as dead thanks to Kagari going to 1, guys, listen to me. Listen to me. They're still tier 1.5 in the OCG. More importantly, they had Kagari go to 1 a long time ago, and we're still doing just fine. Now, yes, they have 3 Pot of Avarice there. We don't. But remember what we also have in this format. We also have 3 multi-roll, 3 Widow Anchor, 3 engage, their stupid equip spell, their field spell, and oh yeah, we don't have Harpy's Feather Duster. Sky Striker will be fine. Now, moving on. So, this week's Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains. Now, this week had to do something very important to make this whole thing with Bohman work, and they did not have a lot of time to do it. And that was, they needed to make Bohman stop feeling like a henchman. Ignore the train in the background. Now, yes, I've been liking what they've been doing with Bohman, but I know a lot of people still cannot look past the fact that he's a henchman who lost like 3 times in a row. But I feel like this was a very good way to go about making him expand and be more of his own character and more of his own credible threat. First up, the way he just commands the scene is very important. Always straight, always tall, always just booming voice, always in charge. He changes the scene, he starts the duel at his own pace, he sets up his skill at his own pace. These are very simple ways to convey that Bohman is in charge right now. That is what they want you to think, and that is what they did. I quite appreciated the way that worked. Also, another thing they did that I quite liked, the way they start the duel with that green lightning chain, like just going through people's heads and zapping their brains, I really liked that. That was actually pretty damn creepy. And it's a simple thing, but it's effective. And yes, we've seen plenty of times in Yu-Gi-Oh! The idea of someone using someone else's mind for, like, something. But this just, like, you see the people's reaction, just like that instant of pain, and also the background music they use too, this more sort of subtle, disturbing, calculated score, as if you can see all of this going to Bohman's plan. It's a nice, creepy little way to do it, and I like the fact that everything they were doing up till this point had purpose. Also, I like the idea that Bohman was willing to let the frog and the pigeon we all want to die. I like that he was willing to let them go. Again, reinforcing that he's not like Lightning, he's not like Revolver. He truly, honestly, 100% is committed to his own ideals. And that is shown there. I could have done without them being like, we'll still videotape, we're the unfunny comedy relief. But whatever. And then when the duel starts, I like the idea that everything had meaning to it. Why was everyone trapped in Link Vrains? Well, because this was all part of the plan. Bohman was going to use their brain power to make this Link 5 monster. Why... oh yeah, the thing with the attributes. He needed that extra power to put all this in motion. Also, thanks to, I forget your name, who pointed it out in the comments last week that the Crystal Heart had a part of Earth's data in it. I never caught on to that. That was a nice pull. So then we get into the duel, and I quite liked it. Again, Bohman's just commanding of everything. Everything goes according to plan as he goes forth to giving us our first Link 5 monster, and I love his rationale for everything he does in this. So essentially, I directly goes after him and says, oh, you're no different than Lightning. And I like that scene because a lot of times in these shows, they will not do that. They don't have the courage in their writing that you, the viewer, can't question things. But here, no, they directly address the question like, you're no different than Lightning, and Bohman effortlessly answered it as, no, I'm not trying to destroy someone to save my own ass. I'm trying to use them for my own goal. I really love how straightforward Bohman is in his beliefs. He's very different from Lightning and Revolver, our other 2 big villains, because Revolver is this nice sort of combination of guilt for the Lost incident and just general fear of technology all warped into his evil ideology. And Lightning is all just wanting to be more than what fate has in store for him. Bohman is pure 100%, this is what I believe. This is what I think the right thing to do is, and I'm going to execute it. So that to me is very interesting to see, and just how laid back with it all he is. Like, I love the way he answers. He's just like, No, this is why I'm doing it. Like, I'm so far ahead of you guys. It's sad you guys can't keep up. That's really good, and he has this friendly atmosphere to him the whole time. Like, he almost feels like someone you could approach and talk to, and that's also something that makes him very creepy. So then we get into the summoning of our first Link 5 monster. Okay, technically, if I'm correct, one of the World Championship cards last year was a Link 5, but no one cares about those. So yeah, we finally have it. Link 5 is kind of a pointless one when you ultimately think about it. There is no real purpose to having to ditch what could be up to 5 monsters worth of material to make a Link monster. I mean, Saruja is a Link 4. It enables 3 zones. That's all you'll ever need. Cards like Borload, Firewall, Nightmare Griffin, they all basically serve as decent functioning boss monsters that require some effort to go into. So at that point, Link 5 is overkill. I think we all assumed our first Link 5 would be a Firewall Dragon upgrade or a Borload Dragon upgrade, but obviously they kind of want us to forget Firewall Dragon ever happened. So here we are. It's cool. I like the design of this thing. I feel like it is kind of meant to be a nice little nod to Five-Headed Dragon, but it's got kind of this sleek creepiness to it, like sort of this loss of personality, this loss of individuality. Like kind of what seems to be going on here is Bohman basically just sort of tries to make everyone part of him. It's a cool, scary plot, and I do think it is very interesting. Last little thing to talk about, well, second to last little thing, I like when Bohman sort of calls out Playmaker and says, well, you could have had the ability to unite human and AI, but you didn't. I also like when you think about it, this is everything Revolver was talking about in Season 1. Revolver's whole big thing was that the Ignises and AIs would get so powerful that they would just begin basically destroying humanity and using us for whatever they want, and lo and behold, that is exactly what's happening. So interesting little thing there to think about. But no, I like that idea. Bohman calls Yusaku out, like, you could have united everyone, but you're too screwed up. That's why I, Purity, am here. He didn't say it like that, but that's how I want it to be. Last thing of note, I do like that Yusaku's first instinct for dealing with a big, annoying boss monster is to summon something that bounces back to the hand. The single strategy in Yu-Gi-Oh! That seems to be most detrimental to you making a big boss monster is just bounce it back, bitch. Non-targeting bounce back, too. Obviously, this will not work, as Bohman indicated in the end of the episode, and I love how when he activates his second skill, I's like, he has a second skill. I'm like, you've all been cheating from day one. This should not shock anybody. But all in all, this was quite interesting. Ooh, and that final shot, the way you just sort of hear the screams in the background, that's nice. I like that. Also, fuck the glasses guy. Revolver's friend, he's like, what a horrible system. To what the guy's doing, like, screw you! You talked about DNA all the time and was like capturing people in a half-baked attempt to catch the one guy you don't like. Fuck off. But other than that, this was all very good, very interesting. I quite like the Bohman stuff. Tell me what you think about it below in the comments. And as for the TCG question of the week, obviously it's got to be banlist related. I did 2 videos on the ban list. So here's my question to you. Could Dinos really become the best rogue pick? A lot of people are getting more excited about Dinos than I thought they would. Obviously, there's their mixing with Shaddols, and they're mixing with Thunder Dragons, but do you think they could really take some YCS cuts? Because remember, UCT is still one of the greatest boss monsters they've ever invented. So tell me about that below. And as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and join me next week for more screaming and shooting lightning through people's heads.